Good morning, Antique and Garden Showcase friends. Today you don't want to miss this video. We're going to be doing the summer recap from 2022 and everything that's happened that's been great for Antique and Garden Showcase this year. I'm here at one of my favorite cafes this morning because it's cold outside and we actually had our first snow flurries last night. Can you believe that? I mean, here we are mid-October and we're talking snow and 37 degrees this morning. Crazy weather all year long. But anyway, I hope you'll join us for this video of Summer Recap 2022. So first, let's take a look at the spring bulb planting. This was an interesting project. I started it in the fall of the previous year. Right now is a good time to start this project now. A lot of the stores have their spring bulbs marked 50% off, so it's a good time to look for tulips and things that you'd like to have in the springtime in your planters. So the first one was the mixed hyacinth crocus planter wrapped in burlap that I did. And this one turned out really well. It had a wonderful smell, the hyacinth by the front door. It was something that everybody commented on that, you know, it was just a really neat piece the way that turned out. Next was the long stem and short stem tulips, and these took on almost like a natural flower arrangement within the urns. It was a really neat look for those as well. The long stems kind of draped over the sides and curved and did unusual things, so that was a great little project there. Also, we had the Oparis daffodils that I put in the formal garden, and I'm hoping to see a huge repeat of those, and maybe they multiplied this year in that area. And this year I did find some 50% off tulips already, and these are the ones that I chose. There was a kind of a mixed red and pink and purple, and then a purple and white striped that I'm going to put out there. I haven't decided what combination or which area I'm going to use those in, but the 4 urns around the front porch are where I'm going to be using those tulips again this year. Next is the driveway island, and that's an area that always looks really bare in the fall after you take everything out, and it's bare until the top 100 daffodils come out and start to bloom, and then after that there's another transition. So it's a bed that's always in transition except in the summertime. And then when you first put in the annuals, it kind of looks a little skimpy and sparse, but it doesn't take it long to fill in. The Madam Butterfly Bronze Snapdragons were beautiful this year. I've got a picture of those up. And it always does fill in nicely with the cannas and any other plants that I put in there. I used marigolds and petunias and lots of different things in there this year. And this is a full view of the driveway island from the hydrangea side. This is the side that faces the outside edge of our property. The highlight of the year, though, was when the Cleopatra canna bloomed in the middle of that bed, and it was just such a stunning color because the Cleopatra canna is a two-tone. It's a yellow and a red mixed, and then we had the Verbena bonariensis in there around it, and that just looked great. Also, the Madam Butterfly White Snapdragons in there, they just kind of broke the colors around through there. The white always is a nice color to have in there to kind of break the other colors and make it look really pretty. And this was a view from the road. If you're driving down the road, what you would see with the blue spruce and the caladiums around it. That was a neat look this year as well. The main focal point of this, though, is how it attracts hummingbirds and butterflies and just the joy of that. In fact, my dad had knee surgery this year, and one of the things while he was out walking, he enjoyed to walk out there and look, you know, at the hummingbirds and the different butterflies that were out there. His one comment was, "Are we going to have that big purple plant again next year?" He's talking about the Verbena bonariensis. So yes, we will have Verbena bonariensis in there again. I like that as the height in the center of that bed. Next on the list is the harvest of potatoes. And wow, you know, I did this on a whim. I went to Tractor Supply to look for some burlap to actually do that spring bulb planter project there at the beginning. And I just looked over and they had all these bags of different potatoes, and I saw red Norlands, and I thought, I love red potatoes. I said, let's just get a bag of those and try them. Well, our spring was really wet, and that bag of potatoes sat in the garage forever and ever. In fact, they were almost mushy, and I thought, these will never do anything. but I'm going to give it a try. So it was the 1st of April I got those out, and they were a really weird potato. They never truly bloomed, but by the end of June, the vines were dying back, and I thought, well, I said this was a wasted project, you know. And I started digging around, and there were potatoes and more potatoes and more potatoes. I thought, goodness gracious. By the end, this is what the harvest looked like. So it was a great harvest of red Norland potatoes, and we still have some of those that we're eating on. I just made a big batch of a loaded potato soup just last week, which was tremendous with these potatoes. Another unexpected project this year was the urn restoration. I went to an antique shop and didn't really anticipate buying an urn, but saw this one there and thought, well, I've got the perfect spot for it. So I took you through in a video of how I actually take off some of the paint and refinish those and put the black gloss Rust-Oleum on there. And that was a neat find for this year for my garden and a neat restoration. I couldn't do a summer recap without mentioning Caladiums. The Caladiums were kind of what brought us all together through Garden Answer when I submitted a photo, and this year Blushing Bride, Burning Heart, the one that's in the center of the formal garden, and the new one this year, Clowning Around, really impressed me. That thing was as big as an elephant ear and just did wonderful all year long on the front porch. So I've got some thoughts spinning on how I'm going to use Clowning Around next year. Of course, the others did really well, Radiance and all the different ones that I had, but these three really stood out this year as the prize winners. This year was filled with a lot of unexpecteds, and I didn't really expect to go and open a retail shop. I had it in the back of my mind to do it all along, but I actually went in the Chestnut Street Mini Mall, and I was just shopping around one day, and I saw a piece of iron cookware that I'd looked for a long time, and I didn't get it. And my mom actually told me, she said, why didn't you buy that? She goes, we haven't seen one of those in 20 years. And I said, okay, I'll go back tomorrow and get it. And when I was in there, the owner of the shop was in there, and I had approached him once before about opening up. And then we got to talking, and he's like, yeah, I've got this space down here coming open, you know, in just another day or two. I said, I think I've got enough stuff to get it together. So I started a retail booth. I had no shelves. I contacted a friend. I'm like, have you seen any shelves anywhere? She's like, yep, go down to the Habitat Restore. She goes, there's two down there that are beautiful. I said, okay. Headed down there, picked those two shelves up, and then literally that was the blank slate that you see. I had two shelves and a few tables that I had at home and some other things. My first table had literally 6 items on it, and then it went from that to ordering the banner and getting things in there and finding more items. And then right now you can see where we're at currently. The booth has sold 102 items since opening day on July 1st of this year. So I think it has done really, really well, and thank you all who have patronized the booth this year and who continue to do so. If you haven't visited, that booth is located at 404 Chestnut Street in Berea, Kentucky, inside the Chestnut Street Mini Mall. This fall, I decided to keep the fall plantings very simple. I actually opted for about maybe 2 or 3 less chrysanthemums than I normally do. And for good reason. There has been a lot of squirrel activity here this year, and I planted pansies in the formal garden, and while some of them are doing really well, the squirrels will not leave 2 or 3 of them alone. Every day when I come home, they've dug them out, threw them in the yard. Finally, I think 2 of them have died, and I've done everything. I've used the skewer tricks. I've used the Repelzol. I've done everything I know out there right now, except building a fort around the bed. So the squirrels are really active, and that gives me a huge warning about this winter. You know, when we see them this active and kind of almost crazy acting at this time of year, you can guarantee there's probably going to be some snows around here. And strangely enough, we had our first snow shower this morning, which I mentioned in the opening. Well, friends, I want to thank you for watching Antique and Garden Showcase. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would love for you to do so. Hit the bell so you know when the new videos come out. They're typically on Wednesday and Saturday mornings. Also, in the description below, you'll find the website, the web address, and the location of the retail space, the address and things for that. They also have a Facebook page, Chestnut Street Mini Mall, as do I, Antique and Garden Showcase. Thanks for watching and have a great week. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.